Hi guys, welcome back to Benmore CrossFit. Today we've got a great benchmark workout, and benchmark workouts are those workouts that CrossFit have put out that help us test our fitness across a range of different capacities. And today we have got Mary, and Mary is a 20-minute AMRAP of 5 handstand push-ups, 10 pistols and 15 pull-ups. Now I've got some different variations on the board here. I'll talk you through those whenever we've gone through the various drills. But ultimately, just to give you an idea in terms of how this workout should feel, it looks a lot like some of the skills days that we've had recently, where we've been working for 1 minute, doing as many handstand push-ups as possible, as many pull-ups, pistols, double unders, so on and so forth. Okay, this is not a skills day. So it's really important that you think about how you're going to scale this one, because if you're spending 5 minutes trying to do 5 handstand push-ups, you won't get the stimulus from the workout. To give you an idea, you should be hitting approximately 10 rounds in your 20 minutes. So that gives you, if you're an absolute elite, you're doing 15 or you're maybe even doing 20. But for average person in the street, you should be doing about 10 rounds. So you're moving through all of this at a good pace. So if you're going to do this as prescribed, you need to be able to do handstand push-ups confidently, boshing out at least 5, no problem. You need to be able to do 10 pistols without even thinking about it, and you need to be able to do your 15 pull-ups unbroken. Now, so you need to think carefully about what your scaling looks like today in order for you to get the right stimulus from the workout. We'll come back to that at the end. Okay, in terms of the warm-up, I want you to jump into this warm-up, which is 4 minutes of running, biking or double undering. Again, just as always, something to get your heart rate up, something to get your body temperature up. Followed by 10 air squats, 5 push-ups and 5 strict press per side. So all of that looks like this. I'm just going to take my grips off. So let me do this here. 10 air squats, feet just outside hip width apart. Chest up, tummy is tight. We sit down, breaking from our hips first. Okay, air squat, push up. Hands point forward, hands aren't going out to the side or any other strange combination, so index fingers pointing forward. Elbows are in tight. Okay, scaling option for that, onto your knees. Last scaling option is against the wall. Okay. Strict press, take a weight, whatever weight you've got. If you don't have a kettlebell, jug of milk, just something, a few cans of beans, bag of sugar, whatever you've got. Strict press. Points of performance, elbows up front, tummy tight. Nothing else moves. So, 10 air squats, 5 push-ups, 5 strict press per side, 3 times round. Once we've done that, we're going to do a little bit to just get our ankles and hips and everything warmed up for our squatting. So we want you to do 10 alternating lunges with a twist. So an alternating lunge with a twist looks like this. Kick one leg forward as far as you can. Oops. Try not to fall over. And come down so your knee is just above the ground, but not actually touching the ground. And twist. And then kick your leg forward. And twist. If you don't have the space to do it all in a row, just do it alternating on the same spot, so it will look like this. You don't have the space. Okay. Next, hip and ankle warm up. I'm going to start this with a weight. And really this is just an opportunity for you to spend approximately 2 minutes just noodling around. So I'm going to sit at the bottom of my squat. And I'm just rocking from left to right. I'm thinking, right, where's tight? Okay, so my upper part of my inner thigh is a bit tight. Okay, I'm just going to stretch over onto that. Okay, where's next? Well, my left ankle I know is always a bit tight, so push all my weight over my left. I'm just spending approximately 2 minutes being inquisitive in this position. Once I've done that for a minute or two, I then might want to ditch the weight and think about some funky little moves like this. So I'm just thinking about how do I get my hips open, and then I might want to finish off with our usual ankle opener. So toes in line with my knee, approximately a fist width apart. Take whatever weight I've got. You don't need to have a weight. If you've got one, use it. If you don't, that's fine. I'm just pushing my knee down over the front of my toes here and getting a good stretch through the back. Okay, so the hip and ankle warm up. Probably in total, I expect you to spend about 3 to 4 minutes just noodling around, moving into all the tight spots, and getting everything nicely warmed up. All right, so next we've got a little bit of prep for our shoulders before we get into the various drills. So we're going to go through our usual shoulder type warm up. Take the pipe, hold it at the width so that the pipe is at your crease. Too narrow, too wide, just right. Okay. And we're going to do 10 of everything today. Okay. So 10 pass throughs that look like this. Okay. So backwards and forwards like this. And then the next one, we're going to keep one side of the pipe planted. We're going to wrap our arm around our head. It's going to look like this. And really important things to note here. 1, hands closed, elbows are straight, and my body is upright. So I'm not going like this. Keep my body upright as I go round, and my elbows are locked and straight. So I do 10 one way, and then I do 10 the other. Okay. Should get our shoulders nicely warmed up. So, let's talk about our various drills, and let's talk about how they relate to scaling. Okay, so we're going to start off handstand push-up drills. We're going to make sure that everyone's going to start off with a seated press, and we're going to move on to variations of the box pike push-up. We did that during our sessions last week, and then we're going to get into the handstand push-up. Okay, so starts off with a seated press. So take 2 objects, set up against a wall. Strict press. By the way, that is not my back cracking. It's this piece of wood crunching against the wall. Okay, so 2 sets of 10, and if you find that using the weight that you've got, that's all you can do, Great. That's where you stop. And that's what you're going to do in the workout in place of the handstand push-ups. Okay. If you find that the seated press was fine, then we're going to move on to slight variation of the box hike push-ups that we were doing last week. So, I'm going to start with first of all, you need to find something. A table's good, a chair is good, if you have some crates in the garage, they're good too. Just something that's quite solid and is approximately, that is 24 inches. Okay, but whatever works. So I'm going to start off with my knees in the box. Knees in the box. I'm going to come in so that my torso is straight. Is my torso straight, Sarah?
You could bring your, do you mean vertical or do you just mean flat?
I'm too low.
Mm-hmm.
I can do this.
That's it. That's better. Yeah. Yeah.
That feels better. Okay. So from here, I'll push my lower myself down. And push myself up. Mm-hmm. I lower myself down. And push myself up. Right, Sarah, can you come in here?
Mm-hmm. Which side?
Just so, I want people to see where my head is going relative to my fingers. Mm-hmm. So on the way down, my head, I'm aiming to go to the tips of my fingers. And on the way up, I want to bring my back of my head to my wrists. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So, try and find something that you can use that's the right height, because as you saw when I started that, wasn't the right height. And do 2 sets of at least 5 reps. Okay. If that feels good, then we're going to move on to the next one, which is what we were doing during the week, last week. It's the same thing, but I'm on my toes as opposed to on my knees. Come in. Same movement. Having just done, don't know how many handstand push-ups. I'm not going to go through that too much. It's exactly the same movement. You're aiming to put your head in line with your fingers on the way down. On the way up, you're looking to put the back of your head in line with your wrists. Okay. From there, and if you can do 2 sets of 5, you're all good. Then we're going to practice our kick-ups. You might want to just spend a few moments practicing your kick-ups, even if you think in the workout you're not going to do the handstand push-ups. Just take a few minutes, practice it, it's always good. So to start off, hands out approximately 8 to 12 inches away from the wall. I get into my sprinter starting position, that's my preference, and we kick up. I'm just going to hold this for a while, I'm just going to hang out here for a while. And then that's going to go. Okay. So, practice your kick-ups, even if you're not going to do them in the workout. Totally good opportunity just to warm up your shoulders. Okay. And then we'll do our handstand push-up. I'm going to do this with a mat. Walk you through it. Hands in exactly the same position for our kick-ups. Sprinter position. I lower myself down. I bring my bum to the wall. I bring my knees down to my elbow. And then I kick. handstand push-ups. So, let's have a look at that. In terms of scaling options, or kind of where you should aim to shoot for in the workout. Box, pike, push-up on the knees. If you could do 5 of those, no problem, great. If they were a real struggle, just stay there. If you find your toes, you could do 5, no problem, great, move on. Everyone can at least try the kick-ups, but if you find you can kick up and hold it, no problem, great. And then if you could do at least, I would say at least 3 handstand push-ups, then you're all good to do handstand push-ups in the workout. Okay, scaling is really important. We scaled today. I will talk you through how we scaled today. Handstand push-ups. Quickly, we're going to go through pistols. So, I'm going to get Sarah to demo the pistols. I didn't tell her we were going to do that. So we're going to start off, I'll just start off with a really narrow squat. So, feet together. Just sit down. And stand. And stand. Okay, that's option 1. Option 2, I'll do that. A single leg step up. So whatever, if you have a box, and for me it needs to be quite high because of my legs, we're going to start in the bottom. So I'm starting here, okay? And then I'm just going to stand up. Okay. Scale pistols. Take one foot, take the other foot, wrap it around the back of your calf, and sit down. Oops. Bit wobbly. Okay. Scale pistols, and then we'll get Sarah to demo full pistols.
I hope I can still do them.
Tired after the workout, absolutely. Nice.
This is my dodgy one, wasn't it?
Nice. Okay. Can we do that again? Really good. Great stuff. Okay. So, let's talk. Those are the demos. Let me just talk you through what you should be doing to warm up. Narrow squats. Everyone should be doing 2 sets of 10. Single leg step ups. Everyone should be doing again 2 sets of 10. The scale pistol that I did, you probably just want to be doing 2 sets of 5, and then full pistols you probably want to do 5 per leg. Okay, so let's imagine narrow squat felt difficult. If that's what if you struggled here, then that's it. Don't move on. If you find that was no problem, move on to the single leg step up. If that was easy, move on to the scale pistol. And again, if that was easy, move on to the full pistol. And that will give you an indication of what you're going to do in the workout. Okay, last bit before we talk through scaling options, pull-ups. If you don't have a pull-up bar, what should you be doing? Well, grab 2 objects, ideally 2, but again, if you've only got 1, that's fine. 2 objects, bent over rows. Looks like this. So I've got a slight kink, I've got a kink in my legs, my back's really straight, and I'm pulling from the middle of my back. I'm taking my elbows and pulling them through my stomach, like this. If you've only got 1, step 1 foot forward. Make sure that the weight isn't over the front of your toe, like this, okay? Because if you're pulling like this, you're lifting all of the weight. You're lifting all of the weight here. We want you to lift all of the weight. Yeah. Okay. So if you don't have a pull-up bar, you'll probably be doing bend over rows in the workout. I want you practicing or warming up 2 sets of 10. If you do have a pull-up bar, then I want you to go through pretty much the usual routine that we've been going through. So it starts off with a few sets of scapular pull-ups. Scapular pull-ups look like this. Hands on the bar, tension through your stomach, tension through your toes, and just pull up and down through your shoulders. Really try and notice, do I pull off to one side slightly? My right moving more easily to my left or vice versa. Okay, 2 sets of 5. From there, we're going to move on to kipping beats. Kipping beats are just a way to get our shoulders warmed up. I won't put Sarah on the spot again. Sarah's kipping beats are wonderful. Mine less so. Okay. So again, you start on the bar. Tummy is tight. Toes are pointed. And I initiate all of this movement through my shoulders and my chest. And it looks like this. Feet have nothing to do with it. Feet and knees don't swing, they just happen to come through as a secondary part of the movement. Then, so 2 sets of 10 of those, followed by a handful of strict pull-ups. So I don't want you spending all your time bursting out, 20 strict pull-ups here, but somewhere like 2 sets of 3. Try and keep them as neat and as tight as possible. So engage my shoulders, tummy is tight, toes are tight. Pull up, slowly down, and down up again. Keeping my toes tight, tummy tight, everything tight. Okay. So try and get 2 sets of 3 or 4, somewhere in that region. And then from there, kipping pull up, which looks like this. At the top of your pull up, you're up. Push away as much as you can. And when you're coming through, think about just opening up your chest, getting your kipping going again. Alright, should be good to go. So everyone should be doing these. Everyone should be doing these. If you can't do a strict pull up, once you're moving on to rows for today, some description bend over rows. If you can do 3 or 4 of those, then move on to your kipping pull ups. So let's talk about options for the workout. Full RX is 5 handstand push-ups, 10 pistols, 15 pull-ups, and yes, you might be able to do the movements, but can you do 10 to 12 rounds in 20 minutes? And if you can't do that, then you need to think about, how do I ensure I get the stimulus from the workout? And we've got the second option here. So, for somebody who has the skill to do all of the movements, but doesn't have the capacity to move at pace, rather than not do the skill, I want you just to drop the reps down. So do 2 handstand push-ups, 6 pistols, and 10 pull-ups. And this is exactly what Sarah and I did, okay? Because we both recognized, yes, we could spend a few minutes banging out 5 handstand push-ups, 10 pistols, right? But we would have so much rest in between that really would have lost the stimulus of the workout. So what we did was we reduced the reps down to make sure that we were moving through it quickly. And the good thing about these movements is this movement doesn't interfere with this movement, and which doesn't interfere with this movement. So that means that your body is able to rest in between. So when I'm using my shoulders here, I'm using my thighs here, and I'm using my lats, and they don't get used in any of the other movements. So you need to be able to make sure that you can move through the movements quickly in order that you get the stimulus from the workout. If you don't have the skills yet, which is fine, 5 push-ups, 10 alternating lunges. So alternating lunges were the things that we were doing down here in our warm-up. Alternating lunge. Now we did them with a twist. You don't need to do them with a twist, but alternating lunges. And then 15 ring rows. I'm just going to make those bent over rows. I mean, if you have rings, great, but bent over rows. Bent over rows. Now, you might find that you're somebody who can do these things, handstand push-ups and pistols, but you just don't have a pull-up bar at home. Well, that's fine. Substitute out your pull-ups for bend over rows. But hopefully this makes a little bit of sense in terms of the, if you've watched the little video that we put together around the scaling options. Hopefully this gives you a sense of why we want to try and maintain the stimulus of the workout. But if you're just constantly trying to RX everything, you're probably not going to get you're probably not going to increase your fitness. You're just going to, well, demoralize yourself. So, okay, quite a lot to get through. It's quite a high skill workout today, but it is hopefully something that everybody can give a bash at home, and would love to hear how you get on. And we will see you again soon. All right, take care. Bye.